My name's Brandon.
I'm Jay and Fiend.
I also hate Pitt.
I guess I'm Jeremy, but I said Jay and Fiend, so we'll go with it.
Yep, we're the Raspy Voice Kids, and we want to welcome you to our show. If you've been here before, we thank you for coming back. And if you've never been here, but you love the Mountaineers, we've always been family. You just didn't know it yet.
Oh, sorry, right?
All right, you ready? All right, you just you caught us in the middle of Jeremy in a dream world. We're talking about if we got in a little tussle. I'm Brandon. This is Jeremy. I also hate Pitt. Jay and Fiend.
I'm trying to stop. Okay.
Raspy Voice Kids. So right now we're going to do a little segment. It's a little pop culture segment. We're going to talk about Craft Beer Guy. That's right. Craft beer is not new. It is. It's not new at all. Actually, it's. I don't even want to call it a craze. It's settled into just being kind of a thing. It's not even. It's not even a big deal so much anymore. And Craft Beer Guy has settled into being just annoying.
Really annoying.
I like craft beer, so I don't want to malign craft beer because I love craft beer. In fact, if given the choice, I always choose a craft beer. Very rarely is there a moment when I will choose a Miller Lite or Coors Light or a Bud Heavy over anything that is brewed by a microbrewery. But I am never the guy who will turn my nose up at a good old American macro brew.
I personally feel like when I think about like the Craft Beer Guy, I feel like about him as I do about so many other things. If it's you, it's you. Be authentic.
Be authentic.
If you love it, and most of the people who are craft brew guys who are authentic, they don't sit there and push themselves on other people. Be you. I don't care what it is. Don't there's certain people who are wannabe skaters. If you're a skater, great. It's awesome. If you're a wannabe skater, stop it. It's annoying.
Yeah.
If you want to be...
Especially since, it's not 1996 anymore.
No, I'm just saying, if you're a guy who wants to be on, the hip-hop community, and that's you, I can accept it. But don't be a wannabe guy.
Yeah.
So the same thing with craft beers is, if you like craft beers, great. I feel like it's only the wannabes who are like, well, you're drinking, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not even that for me. Actually, it goes even beyond what you're saying. What you're saying is true, and that is frustrating, and it is annoying, and it is something that you can see through from a mile away. It goes even beyond that for me. While I understand why you might prefer a microbrew, as do I, don't pretend like you can't drink a Coors Light. Don't pretend like you cannot enjoy a Bud Heavy. Don't pretend like when you cut the grass, a Miller Lite's not going to quench your thirst.
No,
Don't act like that. Please don't act like that. You're not better than us.
Be you. That's all I care about.
But don't act like even if you can be you, and you can lower yourself in that moment. If you're at somebody's home,
what I'm saying, lower yourself in that moment. No, be you. So if you say, I don't, but you really don't mind it.
No, but
you're not being you. You're putting on.
But my thing is, some people do mind it. But I'm saying, in a moment, if you're at somebody's home, that's what I'm saying to you though is, if you're at somebody's home and you do mind it, and somebody offers you a Miller Lite, you can drink a Miller Lite one time. You may not buy a 12-pack of Miller Lite, but you can drink one. You can drink a Miller Lite. You can drink a Miller Lite.
I drink Miller Lite. I'm just saying, I don't fault
I'm saying to you though,
if you have a certain type of palate and you don't.
You can drink a Miller Lite. I think
there's a difference between having your taste and being bougie.
But what I'm saying to you is, Craft Beer Guy can take a moment to drink a Miller Lite. He can drink a Miller Lite.
Craft Beer Guy, what I'm thinking is somebody who's purposely put it out there that
no.
I only drink.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. And Craft Beer Guy,
and that's what I'm saying. Stop it. You don't have to drink it, but don't do that.
My biggest thing with the guy who drinks Miller Lite, won't drink a Miller Lite, my biggest thing with a guy who doesn't buy Miller Lite, who doesn't buy Coors Light, is it doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't taste like anything. Miller Lite, Coors Light doesn't taste like anything.
True.
You can drink a Miller Lite or Coors Light and you're not going to get sick off of it. It doesn't taste like anything to where you're disgusted by it. So you can drink one with the boys, especially on Saturday, because Saturdays are for the boys.
Absolutely.
And be okay and not be a snob, not be that guy. Enjoy yourself, not be a snob, not get punched in the stomach by somebody like, not myself, because I'm a very peaceful person, but by somebody who maybe is less forgiving because you're being craft beer guy. Nobody likes to be around that guy.
Nobody does. Nobody likes to be around.
Nobody likes to be around.
Except for his other craft beer guy friends.
Yes. And most of those guys, it's like the person who... Has anybody ever seen House Guest with Sinbad and Phil Hartman?
Oh, my goodness.
Very old movie.
I love House
Most
Guest.
of you guys have not seen that. But there's a scene where Sinbad is with Phil Hartman, and they're at some kind of a wine tasting, and the guy smells his wine. He's like, I like my wine to be mature. I like it to have legs. And I like to...
Sounds like you need a girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's what he said. That's what he said.
Like, sounds like you need a woman. And that's how I feel about craft beer guy. He's overcompensating. He's being ridiculous. Nobody is that cool. Okay, and I do like craft beers. I'm not acting like I'm a connoisseur. And this shout to my man AJ Carrick.
Right.
Okay, a shout to my man David Kimmons Thomas. Okay, I love craft beers. They could teach me a thing or two. I'm always learning, and I always, like I said, I always choose craft beers. Jackie O's, love him. Okay, like I said before, Big Timber Brewing, love it. I'm looking forward to learning more about Parkersburg Brewing Company. Get at me, okay? But get over yourself, all right? Now, all of that said, we at Raspy Voice Kids, as you notice, we always are drinking a beer. In the very long tradition of West Virginia sports, as we always say, let's go Mountaineers.
Let's go drink some beers.
Let's go drink some beers.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Mountaineers or Mountaineers, beers. What's it? What do they say? Beers, cheers, Mountaineers. Cheers, beers, Mountaineers. Something like that. The idea, though, is we need a beer of the week. Every week we want to have an official beer, and we want your help. Whether it be the listeners, whether it be the brewers, please make suggestions. Please, whoever it is, whoever you are, if you make a suggestion, if you send us your beers, send us your glasses, you will be the sponsored beer of the week for our show, and you will be featured. We will do a review. You will be shown on our show, on our podcast, and
because Mountaineers love beer. That's what it is. No.
And we're known for that.
And you're laughing. Like, we mentioned this a few weeks ago on another podcast when we went to Sugar Bowl. Actually, I don't know if we mentioned this. We did. We mentioned it. We talked about them selling out and Kimes spending $30 for a beer.
Mike Kimes did.
We never talked about that was the first time the Georgia Dome ever sold out of beer.
In the history of the Georgia Dome.
Do you think it's a coincidence that the Mountaineers were there the first time they ever sold out of beer?
Well, it wasn't because of the Bulldogs, because they've been there plenty
of times. So that's the thing. Like we're Mountaineers. We drink beer. Let us know what the state drinks. What's the best? Like when we go tailgate.
So it's up to you guys. If you have something you want, we can choose for ourselves. But if you have something you suggest, something you think is the best, Jenny from the WV, that is Jen Wilt, she has already said...
I call her Jenny from the block, but go ahead.
Well, she says it's Jenny from the WV. She has already said that it is coal miner's daughter. She says it's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So we're going to start there on her suggestion.
We are.
It will be the first beer of the week for the Raspy Voice Kids. But after that, we want your suggestions.
We do.
Please, bring it to the RVK, Raspy Voice Kids. Let us know what you got. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, please follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Podbean, Google Play. Also, follow us at Raspy Voice Kids on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Go to our website, Raspy Voice Kids, and support us on Patreon if your little heart is so inclined. Oh, and don't forget, we also hate you.